Hello guys, welcome back to Tech Without Fear, where today we're going to be teaching you another useful tip where you can remove subjects that you don't want in a picture. Let's get started. Alright, so say we have this beautiful picture right here, and we notice that there's a couple of problems. We see that there's this woman here, there's this man here, and it seems like it's a ball of some sort. They're trying to play baseball while this woman is simply trying to take a nice picture. Obviously, it's a real life scenario, so you know there's going to be other people doing their own things. So, what are we going to do to get rid of these people? What about the seagull? If we take all of these things out, the picture will look so much better. Well, first technique we can use is we can use this patch tool. This one requires a little bit more intricacy, but if you can try to get this patch as good as possible, you can see that we move over here and we try to make sure that the waves align, and look at that, person's gone. You see that here? It's really cool. It's really easy, and I'm almost 100% sure none of you, unless you're Photoshop analysis experts, will be able to figure out anything. If you look slightly, you can see that the waves over here have repeated themselves. It's kind of really unnatural. Waves don't repeat themselves that easily. But no one will know. With just noticing this picture, no one will know that there's been someone removed. What about the seagull? Well, this one's an extremely easy fix, but I'm going to show you another method on how to do it. In this case, we can use this healing brush tool. Better yet, let's use the clone stamp tool. Alright, so let's increase the size of our tool right here so that it's just about bigger than the seagull. And right here, now if we were to alt click here, which samples a location for us, we can see it gives us a general nice view over here. So if we go here and set the hardness to about 100, see that it doesn't fit in anymore. Let's try sampling over here. See that this doesn't fit in anymore either. So you want your hardness to be as low as physically possible without actually having any of the seagull available. Now this one's a little bit more obvious. If you have a good eye, you'll notice that there's a difference right here. Here it's a circle. But once again, if nobody's looking for it, nobody will notice it. So let's go back to our patch tool and do what we did for the person over here. Now what really helps with this patch tool is when you have a frame of reference. So if you look over here, we have this wave, right? We had this little wave, this right here before. So now when we're sliding it over, just to make sure we're almost perfectly aligned, we can try to align these waves together, and you'll see that they almost look like one wave. But you see this doesn't look good. We know this is a big fault, and it's going to be really easy for someone to figure out what happened here. So let's try over here. Works much better because it is a break in the wave, but it's much more natural because it actually happened. But I'm still not satisfied with this. So why don't we try a more detailed approach? Slow down a little bit and make sure we almost contour to the body perfectly. Oh no. Looks like we missed a spot. Right here, and we move over. Voila. This looks so much better. Still a little unnatural thing over here, but we can also cure that. Remember, the first point which you choose will be the one that will be altered. If you circle this first, this is the thing that's going to be altered, and here is going to be the reference point. That looks much better. It looks like a natural wave that's flowing in. Once again, If nobody's looking for it, no one will notice. Let's use a spot healing brush tool. See the little baseball? We can just draw over it. It's extremely easy. We can draw over this. We can draw over what seems to be like a little boat. Everything is clear. Everything that we don't want is clear. Now, let's say I don't want this towel here. Like this, I don't like it. This towel's ruining the mood. Well, we can't remove this bag because the woman's foot is here. It's over top of the bag. So that would require us to start drawing, and that's a little bit more advanced. We can remove this towel right here. Alt-click source point. Make sure it's as close as possible to your actual reference. Start drawing over it. See, it did cover it up. It looks like dirty sand, but I'm not satisfied with it, so we're gonna try again. You want to make sure that there's no evident pattern happening. Right, so this seems good enough. It was on the edge and we didn't have a good sample point, which made it hard, but we can try over here. See, we're getting much better results. Once again, since our source point is so close, we're gonna get a bit of red in. So the farther away, but if your source point is too far away, might get some of this stuff. So this is a more manual method, requires a little bit more skill, but if you're just trying to do something small, then you really don't need to do that. You can always use a spot healing brush tool, but this one you see in scenarios like this, you can make it go crazy. Because this tool doesn't really know what to do, it just tries to blend stuff in, right? So it's up to us to do those minute things. Well, I guess we can't Control-Alt-Z any further, but we can always use this patch tool. Moving something farther away. You can see that it's blurring because the surroundings here aren't perfect, so it tries to blend it in normally. Another thing, now that over here we don't like these rocks in the sand, we can take a sample point right here and we can start coloring in. You'll see this one is unlike the spot healing brush tool. It doesn't use any surroundings. It will literally clone what you give it. So for scenarios like this is so much better. Because you're literally cloning, you can select different points and actually break down any pattern that might be visible. And then you can make, obviously you can make the size and hardness lower, and then just start brushing in points from up here just to try to make the sand look a little bit more realistic. You know, you don't want it to look like you tried your best to remove something from the picture. Rather, you want it to look like it never was in the picture. Obviously, what I'm doing right here is extremely rough and not detailed work. When you'd be doing something on your own, you'd spend whatever amount of time it took you to get it perfect, right? But here I'm just showing you the basic tools and techniques on what to do. But another really good helpful tip is look at this right here. You can see the sand is so much more whiter than over here. That's because lighting is not going to be perfect everywhere. It's not going to be completely homogeneous. So you can't expect the light here to blend in with here, And if you really want to see if the light blends or not, I suggest go up here and turn up the hardness, and you'll see how much difference there is in a light. Like this point, let's take the brightest point, and I'll look at it here. Even this point where we took here is so much more different than these points. And then let's take a point from the darkest sand, which is over here. Right? It's similar to out here. So that means, why don't you use something from there, color in over here. That looks like it blends in a little more, except we're at an edge, so we're gonna have some problems. Look at that. Even though it's a slightly bit brighter here, you have to know how to manipulate the light. Almost all of photography is going to be how well you are at manipulating light. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned a few things on how to remove stuff from the pictures. And we can see our picture looks so much better without those people trying to catch a ball in front and without that seagull flying in. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.